I want to say thank you to all the wonderful people in the Fine Arts Department for your motivation and leadership and for helping all the students involved in choir and theater bring out their full potential. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Lynn in the theater department for giving me opportunities in class to grow as an actress and a director, and as well as nurturing me in extracurricular activities outside of class.
I want to thank all the math teachers I've had over the 4 years, Mr. Bazanin, Mr. Brower, Ms. McCarthy, Ms. Cherry, and Mr. Venetico. You've all done a great job inspiring me to do my best. Thank you.
I would like to thank all my science teachers and give a special shout out to Mrs. Baylor. I support you.
I would like to say thanks to the Social Studies Department, Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Kuklinski, for everything they've done for me for the past 4 years at Barrington. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the teachers I've had for my English classes over the 4 years.
I would like to thank the teachers in the math department because I've loved every single one of my teachers I've had. Mr. Mazanin because he came and said happy birthday to me every year. Mrs. Hoxmeyer because she always had something funny to say. Miss Martin because she was just a cool teacher and had us play games to understand stuff. Mr. Rodrigo because his PowerPoints were always really funny. Mrs. Cagney because she just taught me so much. And Mr. Solverson because he takes time out of his opens to help me understand the material better.
I'd like to thank the history department because Mr. Gorman, your class was always fun. Same with Mr. Wire and Mrs. Solar. You guys always made the education really great and I really understood history. Thanks a lot. And the science department, Miss Tantillo, your class was great. Everything you taught us really hit me hard. The environment's important, thanks to you.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Kramer, Mrs. Newhaven, Mr. Palmer, and Mr. Petrie, Mr. Piper, basically all the teachers in Pathways. Without them, I probably even wouldn't be here today. I've probably been dropped out of school, but thank you guys so much.
I would like to thank the mathematics department for all their help and support throughout the last 4 years. Ms. Cherry, Mrs. Cagney, Mr. Blecka, and Mr. Medansky. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the English department for allowing me to express my creativity through writing. Thank you, Mrs. Kramer, Mr. Mahevic, and Mr. Beck, and Mr. Degnan.
I want to thank the guidance department for all the 4 years that they've helped me. And if it wasn't for the department, I think I would have not known what I want to do, where I want to go. And now I'm graduating and I'm going to Harper and I'm going to study nursing.
Just wanted to thank one of my favorite printmaking teachers, probably the best one I ever will have, Mr. Burke.
And you're always an awesome Nuance sponsor, so thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Mr. Mahevic, Mr. Seidel, and all the teachers of the History, English, and Art department for being truly passionate and amazing at their jobs.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Enright, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Baylor, and the entire science department for their incredible dedication to their students. And a special thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Young and Miss Nelson for their hard work and care for the students for our entire 4 years. Thank you.
Good morning, Barrington High School. I'm Catherine Deacon.
I'm Alex Seelich. It's Friday, May 20th.
And it's time to get you in the know.
To keep up with the episode's theme of faculty appreciation, I would like to thank Mr. McWilliams for giving me some much needed advice of staying out of trouble my senior year.
Well, I'm glad to see you took that advice and applied it. I would like to thank Senor Avendano, Ave, for being a great coach. I really appreciate your motivation and leadership.
Some other staff members worthy of recognition are Mary O'Donnell, Lindsay Plash from Special Services, with completing their 3rd full marathon of the year. Way to go.
We would like to give a shout out to the teachers in the science department. Caroline Milne, Julie Baylor, Lauren Turngren, Erin Tantillo, and Sandra Miller for finishing their master's program in biology at Washington University in St. Louis this May. Along with that, the Fine Arts Department would like to congratulate Jason Burke on his newly acquired master's degree.
Congratulations to student Joey Banrick and his teacher, Mrs. Peterson. Joey was the finalist at the event in the Business Professionals of America National Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. This is the first year any BHS student participated in that conference. That's quite an accomplishment. For Joey to take first place at the state level in February and place as a finalist in the national level.
Special Services would like to thank all of the teachers and assistants for their dedication, compassion, and hard work on behalf of the students with disabilities.
Mr. Gilbert wants to express his sincere thanks to the entire science department and staff for their dedication to students and their hard work this year. Job well done, and have a safe and relaxing summer.
Life Skills has had some things to celebrate this year. Lauren Wilhelm, also known as Mrs. Briggs, Flags team received 3rd place in their state competition. Also relating to sports, Babby Barrero celebrated her 300th win in her basketball coaching career this year. Congratulations.
And lastly, we would like to give a big thanks to Mr. Doles for giving us the opportunity to just be involved in BHS TV.
These past 4 years have been a great experience. Thanks for all you do for your students. On behalf of all the seniors in 238 Studios, we'll miss you.
Well, that's it for this week and for the rest of the year.
For the last time, Barrington High School, I'm Catherine Deacon.
And I'm Alex Selich.
And now you're in the know.